I mean, I'm glad that we live in the world we do where we can still do this, but gosh, I mean, you know,
No,
it's weird in a way, isn't it?
no, it's surreal. At sometimes I look at this year and feel like it's taken no time at all to go by. At other times it seems like it's been 5 years packed into 1 year. I mean, it's been a remarkable year. This is one of the benefits of technology, the fact that we could be doing this, and it's almost becoming second nature now. I know when we started it was a little weird, but I'm not sure if I'm going to feel comfortable back in the studio. This is kind of nice to be able to just sit at home and do this. But hopefully, I can't wait to be back in the studio. I can't wait to see you. It'll be nice to give you a hug and not have to worry about giving you a hug.
Exactly. Well, this was something that you added to our show, which once more, when I said I felt like this 2 hours is written for me, certainly in our family, we do struggle with joint issues, but regardless, just like we say all friendly flora is not created alike, not all glucosamine is created alike. And boy, oh boy, even though I feel like I'm doing pretty well from how I look, when you watch how someone moves through life, whether it's their hands, their joints, their hips, their knees, their feet, this is a product that has certainly made profound changes and improvements for people like me. I swear by it. But this pricing, now this is a weekend special purchase price, $75, $150, $300, or $600. Wow. Andrew, that's almost like a today's special size, isn't it? Or is that one that you normally do?
At one time, that was a today's special size and price, but now we make it available all the time at an event like this. So yes, it is special pricing. It ends up being only about a quarter a capsule. And again, for the glucosamine and chondroitin that we're talking about here, it's the form that's recommended by the science, which unfortunately, most of the glucosamine chondroitin you see out in stores, it ignores the science, ignores the research, ignores the literature. I grabbed some charts. It's funny, I do the charts here. Normally when we're in the studio, we have all the great support at the studio to bring the bottles out, to bring the charts out. So I'm kind of organizing the charts. If we looked at the floor here, they're like scattered all around the floor here. It's kind of a mess, but I grabbed some great charts on glucosamine here. So, and just to give everybody a sense, I want to see if we can go through them pretty quickly, but more than 22,000 papers have been published on glucosamine, more than 20,000 on chondroitin, more than 1,500 papers have been published on both. So between the two of them, what is that? That ends up being about 45,000 papers. Combined, there are also more than 3,500 actual clinical trials, meta-analyses, and systematic reviews, which are that's the gold standard of clinical research. And then just a few of the great quotes from the American Journal of Natural Medicine. Detailed studies conducted by the World Health Organization have shown that sulfur is an extremely important component in the therapeutic effect of glucosamine sulfate. That's important because the typical glucosamine you find in stores is not glucosamine sulfate. It's glucosamine hydrochloride, which isn't going to be as effective. From the textbook of natural medicine, research has shown that sulfur is an extremely important component of glucosamine sulfate, and its substitution is likely to decrease the efficacy of supplemental glucosamine. Again, why other products don't work as well. Cleveland Clinic Journal of Medicine, most clinical trials of glucosamine supplementation have used glucosamine sulfate because it is well absorbed from the GI tract. However, most of the products sold in the US contain glucosamine hydrochloride, a compound about which there is considerably less information. Results with glucosamine sulfate may not apply to glucosamine hydrochloride. They absolutely do not, and that's what the science has said. From current concepts, glucosamine sulfate is one of the most studied dietary supplements available today. In the last 30 years, many trials have been conducted and published on the effects of glucosamine on the signs and symptoms of normal age-related changes in joint comfort and function. The hydrochloride salt of glucosamine is a common glucosamine product, yet it has received relatively little attention from researchers because it doesn't work. It doesn't work as well as glucosamine sulfate, from a journal called the American Family Physician. Unlike many supplements that reach the market completely untested in clinical trials, glucosamine has been the subject of considerable research, extensive research. Glucosamine is available in multiple forms. The most common are glucosamine hydrochloride and glucosamine sulfate. From the Journal of Family Practice, a combination of glucosamine and chondroitin should be considered viable first-line joint support nutrients. This is a journal for doctors. Be sure to tell your patients to purchase glucosamine sulfate, not glucosamine hydrochloride. Just a couple more. From orthopedic nursing, the National Institute of Health found in participants with moderate to severe discomfort, glucosamine combined with chondroitin sulfate provided statistically significant relief compared to placebo. Again, not a drug, not a medicine, just structural components in our joints. The American Academy of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. The authors of yet another review concluded that enough data exist in the literature to prove that both glucosamine and chondroitin have a significant effect on at least discomfort and function, and may have an effect on delaying cartilage degradation on the basis of radiographs, on the basis of x-rays. So I'll stop there, but hopefully that was compelling enough on why our formula is different, using the sulfate forms, and of course, being sodium-free, and delivering them in a form that will never upset your stomach, at ultrafine powder that won't cause the stomach upset that the typical glucosamine hydrochloride tablets do.
Okay, was I reading your mind, or were you reading mine? Because I actually opened one of the capsules, Andrew. Because again, that is something that we struggle with in our family now. And yep. I know, so Andrew, that's just the other thing. I think we kind of take for granted that, I mean, you do make the world's finest vitamins, and this actually was one of the cornerstones when you started your line over 4 decades ago. Nobody does glucosamine better. Certainly nobody makes glucosamine or does it like this, right?
I've been making a glucosamine product, I'm going to date myself now, for 41 years. It was one of the first products I introduced, my Essential 100, my multivitamin at that time. So this is something that I doubt there's any other company out there that has as much experience as we have working with glucosamine, working with chondroitin, which means that we can only make the right choice. And if you look at the reviews on this product, I think it's another product that's 4.5, 4.6 star reviews. You look at the reviews, again, it's a product that performs. And if you read the reviews, they are inspiring. Hopefully they inspire folks to give this a try. Anything you try this visit has a money-back guarantee until January 31st. So you really have a great opportunity to try anything we talk about in this hour and get to experience for all of December, all of January, and the rest of November.
Most definitely. For lack of a better term, I mean, it's a weekend special price. This is arguably very close to a today's special value, if you will. And I can tell you for a fact, because I do struggle with joint issues, and I know that I would not be moving as smoothly through life if it weren't for this product. Certainly not a cure for anything, but I tell you, we're all trying to do our utmost best, and certainly a year that's been more challenging than ever. We are trying to get to a lot of different things in this show, though. One thing that we didn't mention during the today's special